Hey, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's certain tools that allow you to create a podcast right away from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to all platforms. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google. You can make money as easy as time, no minimum. Listenership is all you need. Everything you need to do is to download Anchor and start your very own podcast. This is D at FTO letting you know how to create your own podcast through Anchor. Check it out. Have fun. Do it big. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Kick rocks. Do what you gotta do.
All right. How's it going, guys? D here, FTO Nerd Talk. Shaza's not in right now. She's sick. She had a couple of complications in the hospital. She wanted me to tell everyone to thank you for all the well wishes that she received on Twitter. If you guys want to send more well wishes to her, it's a blur chick on Twitter. She's doing better. She's very tired from the medication she's been taking, so she won't be in this week. But it is still going to be me right now doing this. Let's see how I can do by myself solo, because it's been a while. Not much been going on this week for me, except for being busy. Got a new job, different job. Kids are sick, all that busy kind of stuff. But let's just get right into it with movies. All right, there's this movie called Guns Akimbo with Daniel Radcliffe. The premise that I saw from the trailer is these random people are being taken, and they've been put into this competition where they have to stay alive because people are trying to kill them. And the way it sounds like right now, it sounds like I'm talking about a comedy, an action horror type flick. It was actually a full-on comedy movie. It's pretty much Daniel Radcliffe's character is watching these things happen, these random people being taken and put into these competitions, and finally he gets taken, and he has pistols literally stapled to his hands. And again, it reminds me of Shoot 'Em Up, the Clive Owen movie, where just wacky, lots of shooting, a lot of stuff that happens for no reason. In watching this trailer and reading the description of it, I get the same kind of vibe from this movie. It's just a lot of randomness, a lot of silliness, a lot of stuff that really doesn't seem to make any sense, but it's there. And that's what I felt when I saw this trailer. And this movie comes out on the 28th of February. The next movie I want to talk about, and a lot of people are talking about this already, is Invisible Man. It's Elizabeth Moss from A Handmaid's Tale. She has this movie coming out based off, I'm guessing, the book Invisible Man. And if you guys read the Invisible Man book, you know that the Invisible Man's a really disgusting character. Like, he goes invisible, he's stuck being invisible, and he does some devious things while he is invisible. And usually that's like the perspective you saw from the book, is from like the Invisible Man perspective and like the crazy, ridiculous crap that he did while he was invisible. But from this perspective, it's from Elizabeth Moss's point of view, where she's a victim of the Invisible Man. The Invisible Man is doing what he's doing, but you see all the point of views from hers. And it's talked about a lot online from what I saw on Twitter and Facebook, but I'm not sure if it's going to do good in the box office. Like, I know it's not a superhero film, so it won't be millions and millions of dollars, but I hope it at least makes over past like 20 million, at least past 18 million. I don't have the budget for it in front of me right now, but I wouldn't mind seeing a movie like this get a lot of traction, get a lot of people talking about it, simply because of what it is and like the point of view they're telling it from. The next thing I want to talk about is TV show. That's all I have for movies. Like, I was cutting it pretty slim this week because I know the last few episodes lasted almost 2 hours because we talked about just TV shows and movies, rapid fire, back to back to back. But Altered Carbon is coming out, or is out. If you listen to this podcast, it's already out. It comes out February 27th on Netflix, of course. If you watch the first season of Altered Carbon, it's a futuristic story that has a lot of political elements inside of it, but it's mostly about this whodunit mystery story. I forget the lead actor's name inside the show, but it's pretty much his story about how he was a part of this resistance group back 200 years ago, and you get your consciousness put into a different body. That body is called a sleeve, and they just get bounced around from body to body. And the political part is about how some people see these bodies as a good thing, some people see it as a bad thing, as like it's an affront to religion, and the mystery murder part to it is one of the most richest and well-renowned persons in that world is killed. At least one of his bodies is, and no one knows who did it. So they get this guy who's in this resistance to find out who did this, to figure out what's going on. And bringing this person back kind of like causes more problems than than was already there in the first place. Alright, between us, the show's convoluted. A lot of the story doesn't make any sense. A lot of it's all over the place. The random characters that pop up, you don't really care about. At least I didn't care about them. And it seemed like it's going nowhere. Like it's setting up to a second season. But the second season doesn't make you want to watch it because it's kind of annoying the entire time. It took me at least 3 months to get to like the 9th episode, and it was hard getting that far by myself. And I still haven't finished it. I got 1 episode left, and a new season comes out today. Maybe I'll watch it, maybe I won't. Who knows? Because so far I'm not happy. The next show is going to be I Am Not Okay With This. If you have Netflix, you've already seen the trailer for it. It's pretty much about this youth adolescent who has her life turning upside down. Like her father's dead, her mother seems detached. She's going through the motion with her and her friends, and things are just not going the way she wants them to. So it's just a lot of stuff that's happening to her at one time, and it's hard for her to get a grip on everything. But it seems like she may have telekinetic powers. If you guys hearing this coo in the background, it's my kid. And it seems like a different kind of show, something that takes place I think in the 80s or late 70s, and I'm really interested in seeing where it goes from there. Like you see the telekinetic power, you know her parents are dead, her best friend is dating a very popular athlete, and you don't know where it's going to go from there. And I keep thinking about I Kill Giants, the comic book that came out a couple years ago and turned into a movie, and it feels like that, but a little bit deeper. Maybe because it's a TV series is why it feels deeper. But I'm really interested in watching this. It came out February 22nd, also on Netflix, and I'm really interested to see where it goes from here on that front. On that note, I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to put my kid to sleep, hopefully in her bed so she can feel a little bit better. And we'll be right back.
Hey guys, D here. And if you want more FTO content, check out our YouTube channel, or check out our Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. We always have new things, different all the time. Check out, leave some comments, or just drop us some questions at flippingtablesover@gmail.com. Thanks, and have a good one.
Alright, how's it going, guys? Welcome back. Now let's talk about some comics. Comics this week was very awesome because the deceased or deceased. It's pretty much DC's Marvel Zombies title. It has a new series called The Unkillables inside of it, and pretty much talking about all the villains throughout the DC's series. So every villain from Cheetah to Lex Luthor, it talks about all those guys and how they stayed alive throughout the series of DCs. And if you don't know what DC's is, it's pretty much, like I said, for like Marvel Zombies. So the whole DC universe, or that universe of DC characters, are being affected by this random disease, and they turn to like carnivorous very crazed type people, and even some of the superheroes are being turned this way. And this series, The Unkillables, is pretty much about all the supervillains who either survived or didn't survive throughout that whole ordeal. And it got 100% on, I think it was League of Comics, and I haven't read it yet, but it's definitely going to be one of those things I just say, screw this, I'm tired of like reading all the DC stories, Heroes in Crisis and all that. I want to check this out just to see what's going on inside of it. I don't have any of the creators' names in front of me right now for any of these titles, so sorry about that. But yeah, check it out. DC's Unkillables. It looks really good. It's very highly praised right now, and it just seems awesome. The next one's going to be the new Justice League comic book that came out this Wednesday. I don't even have the title name in front of it. I usually write these down, but I don't have it right now. The reason why I'm getting pumped about this is not only because the Justice League series has been pretty much on fire lately. It's actually the Justice League Dark series is what this is. The new, I think it was Justice League Dark issue number 20, maybe 24. Like I said, I can't look it up right now. Don't have any of my stuff in front of me. The joys of not having a co-host is killing me right now. It's Animal Man. Animal Man is a part of this, and he's bringing back the Rot. You know, if you guys read the New 52 stuff when it first came out, you know that the Rot is the red, just like Swamp Green is the green of the DC universe when it comes to those magical positive and negative forces inside that world. That has like a life of his own, unlike Zatanna and Dr. Fate and Raven and characters like that. The eco balance is like the Rot and the green. I think Poison Ivy even gets affected by the Rot because she's a part of the green, but in a different way than Swamp Thing is. I could be talking on my ass with that part, but Animal Man is coming back, and he has the ability to talk to animals, and he also like has a power that's similar to Vixen's, which is like he can take on their powers and do, you know, abilities with those. And apparently he's coming back in Justice League Dark, and this is a mini-series, like a couple of issues. I think it's like 3 or 4 issue run for this series. So Animal Man's back, and remember Wonder Woman is inside of Justice League Dark along with Man-Bat and Detective Chimp and all those other characters. And I think Zatanna is also inside of it. It looks really damn interesting, and I'm really fun to see where this goes, because it has to go somewhere interesting. And the next one is He-Man issue number 4. And this, I picked this only because the cover looks pretty damn awesome. The synopsis is escaping me right now because, again, I didn't write anything down for this. This is going to be the funnest episode for you guys. So there's all that. I'm not sure exactly what happens inside of it, but I saw the cover and said to myself, this looks pretty damn awesome, and I put it on the list. If you guys read it, let me know what you think. I think He-Man is still a part of, it's either IDW or DC. I'm not sure anymore. I know they do a lot of crossovers with DC, but I'm not sure what company they're actually with right now. So, yeah, He-Man issue number 4, Justice League Dark with the Animal Man appearance, and DC's Unkillables. There you go. And alright, we could take a break, but it's just me right now, and the comic books didn't last as long as I thought it was going to. So let's just go out to the news. The bat suit. Robert Pattinson in the bat suit. There's been a lot of pictures, a lot of fan drawings, a lot of stuff out there about this, and a lot of people, a majority of people are getting upset about this costume. A lot of people, another small majority are liking it. Could be a big majority too, but it seems like half and half. There's some that are liking it, there's some that are disliking it, there's some that are talking about how the costume looks stupid, there's some that are quoting Nolan with the hockey pads. There's a lot of different stuff that's going on about this costume. And I posted a picture all over different platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It shows a drawing by, I think it was Got for Hood. I forget the artist's name, but he did a pretty much a fan-made drawing of the costume, how it could look, considering just from what they've seen the stunt double wearing, you know. And I like it. A lot of people are talking about the pants that they saw looks ridiculous. A lot of people are talking about the hockey pads again. Some people are talking about the bat logo, how it looks too small. my thinking is, this is a character that fights at night. This is a character who prides himself on wearing black. And we hear that Matt Reeves said the costume is going to be blue this time. This is a character who, if you see this drawing, it looks a lot like Captain America. So I don't understand why a lot of hate is coming towards this, because his costume looks a lot like Captain America's costume. So the hate is just not making any sense to me when it comes to this. But I like the costume. I think it looks good. I think it has remnants of Gaslight by Gotham. I think it has remnants of Arkham Knights, the video game. I think it has some nods to the purple gloves Batman. I think you see some of the Neil Adam type Batman inside of it too. Even Adam West Batman a little bit inside of this. And it's supposed to be apparently year 2 Batman. So his second year out there being Batman, seeing Catwoman. Hopefully Robin pops up at the end of this. I would love that. A young Robin. Something that we can actually see that doesn't seem too weird. Or, doesn't throw a nod to those weird jokes you hear about Batman and Robin all the time. Just hopefully we see something out there that tugs on our heartstrings, that has a good story to it. Something that's similar to what Matt Reeves did with that Planet of the Apes series. I'm excited. I'm excited for all this. I want to see it happen. I want to see how far it can go. DC's been kind of burning in on all cylinders. You got Wonder Woman 84 coming out pretty soon. You got a new Shazam movie. You got Black Adam coming out soon. Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey did not do what DC wanted it to so far. There's still time to tell on that. But it still made money. Just didn't make back. It made back the budget, but it didn't go to the 200,000 mark, which is what they were hitting for. So there could possibly be a sequel for the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey series. But you got the Suicide Squad coming out pretty soon too. You got The Flash is still being made. There is still word that The Flash is going to be made into a film, and seeing that Arrowverse Flash crossover, it still gives you more hope for that to happen. There's a lot of pluses going on for DC right now. And I think the last movie from Marvel was it Ant-Man? Or Spider-Man? What was the last Marvel movie? They're taking a break anyway, so it doesn't even matter, because, their Endgame just happened, and you can't keep on shelling out films when the fans are feeling certain ways about the characters. So you got to take a break regardless. And then you got the Marvel Sony universe, or, the SMU coming out with Morbius, and then the Venom 2 with the Cassidy photo that we saw recently. Just a lot of stuff happening, and I'm excited. More excited than I was when it was just Disney Marvel making stuff, because you guys know how I feel about Disney Marvel. I'm going to keep on talking about that. Macaulay Culkin is going to be a part of the next American Horror franchise or series. This is different because he has a bankable name, and he's been doing a lot more out of the box type acting since his Home Alone days. Even though he's been an adult for a couple of years, decades or so, he's still been doing a lot of out of the box kind of acting with the different stuff that he's been in since adolescence and whatnot has gone for him. But to do something this strange with American Horror, and to be a part of the entire season of a TV show, so we get to see Macaulay Culkin every week for 10 to 13 possible episodes. I think this is different. Different in a great way, but I think this is an opportunity for him to show what he can offer, because he has not stopped acting this entire time. Of course, he's taking a break and hiatuses like most actors do, but he's always been wanting to be in front of the camera doing random different things and showing himself in random different lights, and to do something this bizarre as this series is, I think we're going to be in for a treat. If anything else, we get a lot of cool memes out of this. So maybe if people start talking about it on Twitter and it become an actual thing, and we can see that more often. But I'm really pumped for this. I'm really excited to see how this goes, because it's Macaulay Culkin. We grew up with that guy. I mean, it's always fun. Right? Seeing a character or an actor you see as a child, and you grow up with that character or that child star to become an adult star. Not porn. Not sure why I said adult star, but become a success in their adolescence or adulthood, and they have that keep going. Because, but I'm not a cheerleader. Goodness, I can't think of her name right now. Not a cheerleader. She was in the Orange is the New Black. She was also in the Russian Dolls. Damn it. Name is not coming to me right now. She's amazing, and I feel bad now. But we followed her since that, in the slums of Beverly Hills. And we just been following her career in her youth to like now. Same with Regina King. Like, you follow her from her early works, and now like she's like this amazing Oscar-winning actor, and it's fun. Even like Doogie Howser, Neil Patrick Harris. Like, you see his career start out, and he just grows, and now he's like doing lots of weird things. And I want to see that same thing for Culkin and any other child actor like Zendaya doing her thing with Euphoria, and I'm pretty sure you can do a lot more weird or cool things after that. So, Euphoria. I couldn't watch too much of that show. That show really got me in my feels, man. It was too much for me to handle. But yeah, let's move on to our last thing. It was the Lena Waithe stuff, and I want to talk about that like particularly with Shaza, but pretty much how Lena Waithe stole a TV show from Nina Lee. Nina Lee came up with this TV show a couple of years ago. It was called Girls Talk, I believe it was, and Lena Waithe pretty much gathered up that idea, and she's producing it into a television show for herself. And there's not much pushback or blowback when it comes to that. I've also looked more into Lena Waithe after our last episode with Shaza, and Lena Waithe has some skeletons that a lot of people are not bringing to the forefront. She says some degrading things to other women. She sometimes supports people who are derogatory towards others. Just a lot of lists of stuff just so she can keep doing what she's doing. So perhaps like my praise for her was a little premature. So yeah. Fuck. It's always a kick when you realize that you were wrong about something, and you should probably take back what you said and fix it. And this is what I'm doing right now. Lena Waithe is not the best person in the world, and me saying that I love her was premature and misguided. So she's not the best. She's not the best. She can definitely do a lot better with the choices that she's making so far. But hey, I don't know her personally. I just know what I see, and stuff is sometimes skewed. Like, I haven't talked about the Jussie Smollett thing, but it's a slippery slope right there. Jeez. I can't say too much because, on one hand, it looks like Jussie Smollett lied, but on the other hand, the Chicago PD is kind of horseshit. So it's like, what the hell? Whatever. I guess we'll see what happens with that. Huh? Fuck. That's all I have for all the news and all the comic book stuff. Let's take a break and we'll be right back.
Hey guys, D here. What are you doing? Are you watching TV shows? What TV shows are you watching? Let us know on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram page. We'd love to talk about it. Talk about it on the show. Talk about it in our new YouTube video channels. So let us know what you think, or whatever it is that you're watching. Thanks, and have a good one.
Alright, we're back. And there is no video games today. I didn't have any video games to talk about. I didn't have any video games that I thought would be cool mentioning today. But there is something I want to talk about. There was this incident that happened, and goodness, I had the state, I had everything down. There's like a Brady law that happened. This 6-year-old girl was pretty much put into handcuffs or zip ties, put into the back of a squad car, and taken to a psychiatric hospital. 6-year-old black girl, mind you. And it was hard to watch and horrific to go through, and it pissed me the fuck off just seeing it. And I told myself, this is only happening because the kid is black. It bothered me to no fucking end. I still haven't watched the video, but I've heard the audio of it happening. The kid's actually asking, am I going to jail? Am I being locked up? And she was held there for 2 days because she had a temper tantrum at school, and the cops were called on her. She was put into a zip tie, put in the back of the squad car. She asked questions that she was going to be locked up because of that reason, and her parents couldn't get a hold of her for 2 days because of this reason. And I don't put out ideas like, well, maybe because of this or maybe because of that. I don't make excuses for shit like that because, like, it alone is disgusting, and I want to change the narrative of all that kind of shit. So, talking about, like, what could have happened, what may have happened, if you're gonna lock up a 6-year-old kid for throwing a temper tantrum, like, you shouldn't be working at a school. And, like, the school was for kids who have, like, ADHD, which is just like she does, who have, like, a cognitive understanding, just like she does. It's a hard hit, and it really pisses me off to no fucking end. I feel like Shaza should be here talking about this right now because the words that she can put into this is a lot more severe than I possibly could. Because I always try to reserve myself when I'm talking about shit like this. But this is fucked up beyond belief. Whether you think so or not, it is. The fact that someone will put a 6-year-old kid into a psychiatric hospital because she was acting out in class and they thought that she was a danger to everyone else. A 6-year-old child. What the fuck? Like, yeah. Just post this kind of stuff. Talk about it. Share it with your friends. Have conversations about it. If you say shit like, you don't see race, this is just some kind of happenstance kind of shit, this is me humoring it right now, which I hate doing it, then like I always say, you're part of the problem. If you think like a situation could have been handled differently, like that goes without saying. If you really like just don't want to talk about it and just want to move on and like, you're gonna stop this recording because like this is getting too much for you, then like you're also again part of the problem. Like I can't just turn off shit that happens in my life. If that was my kid, because my kids are black, then like what? I just gotta just shut it off. Just wait for it to clear itself over. Like blame my kid for acting out in class. Are you serious? And this thing about like this Dwayne Wade shit. Like people ripping on this kid. I posted a comment about how Cardi B is trying to go against her old ways and talking positive about transgender, because in the past she didn't say nice things about transgender people, and she's defending Dwayne Wade's kid, who's also transgender, and talking about it in a positive light, which was surprising to a lot of people, and a lot of people telling her to stay in her lane because a child who's of that age thinking that they're, or this is their words, that they're a different gender is dangerous in their eyes. My take is, if you read the reports about children 6, 10, 12, and you tell them to stop being who they think they are, it usually leads to suicide. It usually leads to multiple deaths. And not even just like from bullying of other people, but from the fact like you're telling them not to be themselves. And a lot of people are saying, a big majority are saying this, that, well, Dwayne Wade shouldn't make this thing public. He should have just kept this stuff to himself. And I think to myself, wait. So he shouldn't post pictures of his kids. He shouldn't talk about his kids in a positive light. He shouldn't say things about his children simply because it makes you feel uncomfortable. And it just makes me think to myself, like, what the hell? Like how can you just say, hey, he shouldn't be talking about this because it makes me feel bad? Like, how can you say that? The child's a person. The child has feelings. The child, lives, breathes, and eats just like you do. Have wants and needs. And, just because you think a certain thing about this kid does not make it right or make you right because you think that way. And I get how some jackasses say some stupid shit like, well, Trump does what he does and you feel a certain way about that. And this is me always playing devil's advocate or straddling the fence or however you want to put this. I see where you're coming from, but this isn't the same. This is a person's life that's on the line right now. This isn't like me talking about like bad policy about a person who want to put a kid into a cage or tell like an entire group of brown people that they can't come to this country simply because they think they could or could not be fucking terrorists. Like, this is much different than that. This is a person who's a kid and they see themselves a certain way and you tell them that they can't do that because either your religion tells you otherwise, either society tells you like otherwise, or just simply because like you're just a hateful person. Like, this is much different than like a person disliking a president because they're a cool person. It's much different than that. And when people throw that narrative out towards me, it really just makes me wonder. It makes me think, like, what goes on through your head if like that's your argument for something that you think is wrong, essentially. It's a crazy world we live in. I wanted to change. I wanted to get better. I wanted to see people as human and look at people throughout their culture. Look at like Atlanta through Atlanta's culture. Look at Chicago through Chicago culture. Or New York, California, Utah. Look at the culture of certain things. And look at like different Indian country culture. Look at different African country cultures. Look at different European cultures. And just look at it as culture, not just race. Because race is dragging us down. It is. But like you can look at the culture of what it is. That's why I think this is going to be a weird thing to say because I haven't talked about it. I'm trying to write a memoir or like tidbits about how Atlanta black culture acts, how Atlanta Latinx culture acts, how Atlanta Afro-Latinx culture acts. And the same for Chicago, New York, Delaware, Detroit, like Baltimore, like all the different places that have like the majority of people of color and like the diverse thereof inside that culture and how they interact with each other. And I get that some people have already written things about this, but I want to do this for myself just so I can get a better understanding and maybe like converse that to someone else who talks in the same language that I fucking talk in. But you know, it's just me. I think that's it for the show. Not long, maybe under 40 minutes. I hope you liked it. Check out FTO Nerd Talk on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Check it out on Vero if you have that. Check out the podcast every single week. There's a couple of episodes I want to do. I think I'm going to do The Boys, the TV show The Boys, and finish that up. After The Witcher is over, I think I have one more episode of The Witcher before I'm completely done with that series. I hope you guys have been liking that. A lot of people check into that. I was very surprised how many of you guys actually listen to these episodes. Because it's pretty much just a guy watching an episode of Witcher, and like, you're just watching along. I still want to do the Hellboy movie and see the controversy behind that because people say it was awful. The newest John Wick film. Watch that one as well. Everything that's on HBO film wise, like Warner Brothers, pretty much. I wanna watch and see what it's like. So there's a couple other ones on there that I want to see and want to do an episode on, and I hope you guys appreciate it. So, and that's it. Check out Shaza. Give her some love. She'll be back as soon as possible. Hopefully, fingers crossed, is next week because she usually picks up where I slack because I'm really not as good at this as I like to think I am. So, and she's a lot better at talking about details than I am because she's just awesome like that. We miss her. We miss you, Shaza. I hope you're listening to this. This is FTO Nerd Talk. You guys have a good one.